I'm philosophically opposed to making it very easy to vote. The reason I'm philosophically opposed to making it super easy to vote is because people are stupid. And I want fewer stupid people voting. The number of people who vote based on the looks of someone or something they've said or the attack that they've just believed, I don't think those people should vote. I think fewer people should vote. Frankly, I think you should have to pay taxes to vote because I don't think people who don't pay taxes should be voting for politicians who are going to take my money and give it to them. I think you should have a stake in the country, and you have a stake in the country by paying your taxes to make government function. And I genuinely don't think stupid people should vote, and there are so many stupid people voting. I mean, and by the way, that's a bipartisan thing. We've had some, my gosh, I got an email from stupid, crazy person the other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact, who believes that the Democrats, this is a far-right extremist Jesus freak who believes that the Democrats by 2026 will have exterminated not just Republicans, but the whole human race. That person probably votes, and they should not be allowed to vote because they're stupid. Stupid people shouldn't vote, and people are stupid. So there should be fewer voters. And anything that expands and makes it easier to vote, we should oppose. Philosophically, we should oppose making it super easy to vote and extending the right to vote out by a month. Election day is the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. We should all show up together, sweat together, freeze together, whatever, be rained on, and vote on Election day. But I'm in the minority. And there are people who believe we should make it easier to vote. But it's got to have limits. And right now, the Democrats, I mean, why not start voting today? Well, why not begin voting the day after qualifications in? Just go, well, all these people qualified to vote. Let's start voting right now. I mean, that seems to be the Democratic position is let's have infinity days to vote. We should be able to start voting right now in 2024. You don't know who the candidate is? What does it matter? Just write somebody in. There got to be reasonable restrictions on voting. Dragging voting out by a month, I think, is a terrible idea. I don't think that restricting the absentee balloting is going to be held up in court anymore. I think you're going to have progressive judges throw that out as unreasonable. What I think is very reasonable is ballot integrity. And with ballot integrity, requiring people to put their driver's license number or their photo ID number or send in a photocopy would be legal. Now, I don't think you could just require people to do a photocopy. The reason being is because not everybody has a photocopier. And if they got to go photocopy their driver's license to send it in, they're probably going to have to pay for that photocopy. And that would then be a poll tax. You're going to have to pay to vote by absentee. You say, well, you show up on election day. Yeah, but I have a hard time believing at this point, given some Supreme Court precedent, that we're going to have a bunch of judges wanting to curtail absentee balloting dramatically by requiring you to go photocopy your driver's license. But writing the number on the actual envelope, if it's on the inside envelope so it can't be stolen, I think that's a great idea. And if you want a free photo ID, go get it. You get a free photo ID to go vote on election day, get a free photo ID to vote by absentee ballot. Go get it. And if you don't want to go get it, well, then don't vote. I think it's a reasonable restriction for the integrity of the election. Now, the Democrats believe there are no reasonable restrictions on voting. Everybody should be able to. Hell, you got the progressives in Congress who want the voting age to be lowered to 16. That's nonsense. The idea of having 16-year-olds vote in this country that progressives want, even the Democrats in Congress, by the way, rejected that. That was the far left position in Congress. Nancy Pelosi's advocated that in the past, and the Democrats in the House of Representatives, the majority of them, killed it. But there's something else here happening. One of the things that's going on, as I said, is the sausage making, but also it's the display and the spectacle. Republicans in the state legislature are doing all these things, and they don't care that a judge may strike them down. They don't care that a judge may throw them out because, one, they get fundraised off of them, saying, look what I did, give me money. And two, if a judge does strike it down, they say, well, we tried, sorry, suckers. If the Republicans really care about this, they need to be reasonable in their restrictions and not go overboard and give a judge ammunition by which to kill it. And I have a sneaking suspicion some of what Republicans are doing is performance theater so that you feel like they've done something significant, and then they let a judge throw it out. They say, well, we tried, sorry, I guess the election is going to be stolen in 2022. I find that unacceptable. There are reasonable restrictions to apply to the balloting. We should do that. We should allow those reasonable restrictions.